Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about the series finale for Orphan Black. That is episode 510, titled To Right the Wrongs of Many, which premiered Saturday, August 12th, 2017 on BBC America, as well as on Space. Now, I'm recording on August 28th, 2017. I know it's roughly going on 3 weeks now, but I was away, couldn't watch it until yesterday, but now I can't wait to talk about it. This was truly a cumulation of things, I guess you could say. But before we do that, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the series finale already, please go do so first. You're really missing out if you haven't. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen right now. Take a moment to remind yourselves one last time. And let's start with the 10-minute clock, and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, this continues straight off from 509, and that is the fact that the end of 509 showed Helena's water breaking just as Sarah was about to get her out of Old Diet. So the finale really picks up from that moment, really. And for storylines, I found 3 different ones, actually. You can kind of split it into 2 halves, with part 1 of the episode containing to the first storyline of rescuing Helena, and the second one being Helena giving birth. And then the part 2 of the episode being more about what happens after the Clone Club is finally free from being hunted down. So, with that said, so the rescuing of Helena, this is tasked to Art and Sarah doing everything they can to protect Helena as she goes into labor. As we have the fake P.T. Westmoreland, as well as Dr. Cody and all their men trying to find Helena as she's about ready to give birth to these miracle twins. So, in the end, Art teams up with Helena to kill Dr. Cody, and then Sarah, in another room, ends up killing the fake P.T. Westmoreland before they come together for the second storyline, which is Helena giving birth. So this is with Sarah, with Art's help, coaching Helena through her labor. And while this is going on, we're cross-cutting to flashbacks of Sarah being coached by Mrs. S during her own labor with Kira, as well as a few moments during the rescue mission with Helena and trying to eliminate the threat. We also got a bit of flashbacks of Sarah and Mrs. S talking about the fact that Sarah is pregnant and what her decision was. So there's that. In the end, Helena gives birth to twin boys. Kind of a shocker since they are kind of the lead of clones. You kind of expected a girl, but it's great to see that that tradition was broken. And at least in some way, the caster DNA I'm assuming the caster DNA kind of continues on through the boys now. But anyways, moving on to part 2 of the episode, which is part 3 storyline being what do they do with this freedom. So with Sarah, we see her working towards getting her GED, while also having plans to sell the house, the very house that Mrs. S was killed in. And it's still rough on her to have that issue of they're finally free and her mom's not there type of thing. Plus, Sarah also struggles to be happy after everything has happened, and she finds that all the struggles she had before, the issues that Clone Club brought with her, she still has them, like fears of being a terrible mother and all that and such. So there's that. Cosima, we see trying to find and cure all the Litas with help with Delphine, Scott, and Art as they try to track all these Lita clones down. So therefore confirming that Cosima's cure does work. So we know Cosima's been cured, Rachel's been cured, and they cured Allison being the first. And after Allison, they've had found 5 additional clones that they have cured, totaling up 6, which includes Crystal and Tony as well, who we don't see, but we do see pictures of them on their board of clones. So there's that. With Helena, though, we see her raising Twin Orange and Twin Purple in the Hendrix's refurbished garage. She hasn't named them yet, so they've kind of been going off of their colored socks, which is kind of cute. We also get news from Felix having a new art opening in New York, and this is around the time he has returned from that. So there's that. We also find out that Donnie is a regional manager connected to some architecture job from the sounds of it. And we also get Rachel, who is alone with no identity unless she wants people to find her in that regard. And she's kind of like everyone else in regards to money, too. She's part of the 99% now type of thing that Felix made comment. So there's that. Now, the last scene of the episode, or the series, I guess I should say, is Sarah looking back in on her home, not with boxes, but fully lived in before she leaves for a beach day with Kira and Felix. Kind of insinuate the fact that Sarah's trying to be happy, as well as the fact that she made the decision to stay in her childhood home. So there's that. Now, with new characters or characters in general, we have P.T. Westmoreland, a.k.a. John Matheson. He views Sarah and Helena as his greatest mistake, yet his greatest achievements. I hope I got that right, though. But he's killed in the end by Sarah. He first got shot in the chest by her before she bashed his head in. So there's that. Also with Detective Maddie Anger, she got knocked out, I should say, and chained up by Art when he was trying to find Sarah and Helena. And that's pretty much all that we see of her. So there's that. Don't know what happens to her in regards to everything else, if there's any repercussions with the precinct or anything like that. But there's that. With Dr. Virginia Cody, she did survive Helena's bashing that happened in 509, but she was ultimately killed by Helena and Art when Helena shoved a well, it looked like a screwdriver, but she shoved that weapon right up into her skull, like leaving no questioning that she's dead. So there's that. Also, we meet a new clone, Camila Torres from Cartagena, Colombia, and she is to be the 7th Lita clone that Cosima and Delphine cure. And we actually see Delphine going there to administer the cure while Cosima stays out of sight. We also get the names of the other clones that they have managed to cure that made up the 6, or that they are aware of. So that was Stephanie Lloyd from Orlando, Florida, Jillian West from El Paso, Texas, Naomi Cohen from Richmond, Virginia, and Adrian Sheepers from Oregon. So they're the cured clones so far, and that's great. But moving on to tidbits, though. Helena finally names her twins by the end of the episode. She names purple twin Arthur and orange twin Donnie, which I thought was sweet. I kind of wish that we got to see the original Arthur and Donnie's reaction to hearing that Helena has named her twins after them, but we don't get that, unfortunately. Also, we get Rachel giving Felix the list of all 274 Lita clones that Diet had records of. To be honest, when Felix was waiting for someone at the baby shower and he was all hush-hush about it and secretive, for some reason I had hoped that it was Mrs. S that was going to show up. Somehow she faked her death or something, or she managed to get out of it. I had high hopes that maybe she was going to be there with them in some way, but it turned out to be Rachel. So that was just my crazy little thought train right there. So there's that. But 274 Lita clones, that's crazy. Then we have to remember, though, that not all of them are alive. Some of them have died off because of the clone illness. Some of them have been killed off by Helena. Some of them could have died tragically by their own means. But in total, there were 274 Lita clones born, which is just crazy to begin with. I'm kind of tempted to just go over and see how many clone names we actually know of and just see. Because, I mean, that's crazy right there. I might do that after this video. So anyways, also with the baby shower, it shows everyone in attendance. It was the last final hurrah we get at the very end of the season. We get Helena with her twin boys, of course. We get Sarah bringing Kira. We have Allison bringing Donnie and Gemma. But there's no sign of Oscar. Where the hell is Allison's son? I mean, we haven't seen him at all since, like, what, season 2? Which kind of confuses me. So anyways, we also get Cosima bringing Delphine, Scott, and Hellwizard. We get Felix bringing Colin and Adele. And then we get Art bringing Charlotte and his daughter, Maya. I think it's the first time we actually get her name, unless I forgot it at some point before. So there's that. And again, Sarah ultimately doesn't sell her home that she has lived with Mrs. S. So there's that. So the most shocking moment of the episode, it has to be the fact that half of this finale was of the rescue and the other half was the aftermath, which I wasn't expecting. I truly thought that for the majority, like maybe 75% of the episode would be the rescue mission of Helena, and then you get the rest of the 25% being this small little epilogue of where everyone is after the downfall of Neolution. But it was half and half, which was a great surprise. Because definitely when Helena gave birth and there was no more threats in the air, and it was like halfway through, it's like, well, what the hell else is going to happen? Is some other trouble going to happen that they're not aware of? So it was definitely a welcome surprise. I'll give you that. It definitely filled in a lot more blanks at what their lives are going to head towards now that they don't have Neolution looming over their heads. So there's that. So moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be Sarah coaching Helena during her labor. while also cross-cutting between Mrs. S doing the exact same thing for Sarah when she was giving birth to Kira. It was a very powerful scene. They did an amazing performance for the scene. It was beautifully edited. It definitely intensified the emotion. Not only are you getting it from what was currently happening with Helena and her labor scene, but also you get it double when you get the flashbacks, because this is Sarah remembering those flashbacks while she's currently in the situation with Helena. So it's definitely a double whammy in the emotions, but it's really well done. They did a fantastic job, and the tears of joy coming from them was understandable for us as viewers, so to have as well. So there's that. They definitely come a long way since they first met and since this whole thing had started. And there's the timer, but I still have a few times to go. It's the finale, guys. I gotta talk a bit more. So the second thing I liked about this episode was the clone sisters, that is Sarah, Helena, Allison, and Cosima, by the campfire, as they help Sarah realize that she's not a failure. She's not the only one that's struggling. They kind of bond over the fact that they aren't perfect, and the fact that they all are scared, and that especially when it comes to what it means to be a mom. So it was great to have them have that bonding moment without having the threat of their health or the threat of Neolution looming over their heads. It was just great to see them have this ordinary sister talk, I guess you could say. There's no conspiracies or no threats of their lives. It's just a normal talk that we as the audience would see in our everyday lives or be a part of in some way, shape, or form. So it's just really great to see that. It was really great to see how they connected on that level, and to see how they've truly formed a sisterhood in more ways than one. So there's that. And the third favorite thing I had about this episode was just the final scenes for all the clones. It's showing them in some way, shape, or form that they are heading towards their happiness. We have Sarah happy when she's with Kira and Felix as they head to the beach. We have Helena naming her twins finally and making it more permanent of who these twins are going to be, or who she wants to shape in their image, type of thing. But we see a great change with Helena. So there's that. We also see Allison being happy with Donnie and their marriage and the changes that they've endured over the course of the series, which I truly think it's only been maybe a year since the events of the series premiere, which is just crazy to think about. So there's that. Also, we see Cosima being happy with Delphine as they travel the world together to cure other Lita clones. So it was great to see that they finally reached the path to happiness that they've all been fighting for. So that was great. Now moving on to top 3 peeve moments. I didn't really have any issues except for the fact that we didn't get to see the return of other Lita clones like Crystal or Tony, or having just the others like Camilla that were cured be brought into the fold. Like, I kind of wanted to see the clone family be expanded in such a way as including them and such. So that was really disappointing. I was kind of hoping that the finale would be kind of a true clone reunion and stuff, like Tony coming into the fold, Crystal being truly brought into the fold of it all. And I can understand why they wouldn't, just because they don't want to disrupt their lives, but on the other hand, they have something special here. This is something that no one else can claim to have. So it's just, I kind of wish they expanded the family in that way, but I guess not. Oh well. But moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? The freedom for everyone in Clone Club and what the downfall of Neolution has brought for them. So there's that. But random questions, I still do get random questions, even this is the finale, and I probably won't get answers. But first one, does Felix split his time between home and New York now that his new art show is there? Kind of questioning that, because presuming that home is Toronto, because I'm pretty sure I remember the CN Tower being shown at one point or another. But there's that. But I'm wondering if he kind of travels between the two. So there's that. Second question, what will Rachel do now that she's alone? Will she ever reconcile with the clone club and be brought into the fold later down the line, or she's truly alone out there in the world? Yes, she's free, but she is alone. So I'm wondering what's in store for Rachel. She's the only one that didn't really get a happy ending, I have to say. Understandably so, but it's still kind of sad. She's still one of the clones and everything. So there's that. And third one, well, with Adele being at the baby shower and Colin too, does that mean that they're in the know now about Clone Club and that these sisters are actually clones and there's many more of them out there? I'm assuming so, since all the clones were present and everything. Usually beforehand, there is always one of them in the presence of the other and maybe some story or lie to account for why another was there or why another presence was there in some form. But I'm wondering if now they're brought into the fold or not. So there's that. But that's about it, guys, because there's no predictions as this is the series finale. So what did you guys think? Overall, I thought it was a fantastic way to bring the series to an end. Again, I am sad to see it come to an end. But then again, I wouldn't want to see it drag on and on. But that's what fan fiction's for. I can always comb those and see if there's other side stories that I could see popping up for Clone Club. But this was truly a one-of-a-kind show, I'd have to say. It definitely tackled on many different issues, as well as it showed outstanding performances by the whole cast, especially Tatiana. She truly amazed me every episode with the way she portrayed the clones and how she was able to do so many clones in so many ways, shapes, and forms. So I'm definitely going to miss the show. I'm definitely going to binge watch it again from start to finish. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm definitely telling my friends about it, so I hope you guys do the same. But what did you guys think about the series finale on its own, as well as what the series has done, or have you felt? I'd really like to hear about that. Otherwise, leave a comment. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is just down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff. I am behind at the moment. As I said, I just came back from vacation, so I have a lot to catch up on. But everything is all in one place and organized through that, as well as through my WordPress, so it's a little easier to gain access to it if you want to check it out. So there's that. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back and see my other videos. If there's another show that I talk about that you like, check that out. Otherwise, guys, this is Mel, wishing the Clone Club one final time. Thank you, and hope yourself have a great day wherever you are. Bye, guys.